Hi, this is Tom Loughton. Welcome to another of Nimba Creations how-to videos. Today we're going to take our Slash Smile Healed prosthetics, which are scars from a Chelsea smile or a Glasgow smile, knife cuts through there. And we'll show you how to apply those, but we're also going to show you how to turn those into the Heath Ledger Joker makeup, which should be great fun for parties. Hope you enjoy it. I'm going to use the ghosting technique with powder to mark where I want the piece. I get it into position, and I just dust around it, so I'm left with a bit of a shadow where I'd like the prosthetic to go. Smear of adhesive underneath, roll it out towards the edge. Again, just underneath, roll it out towards the edge. Very carefully press it into place. Get it in a position that I'm happy with. That small ridge there, that should line up with a line of the upper lip. That's going to effectively extend the shape of the upper lip. And you want to make sure those edges are really stuck down, because they could well pick up some moisture. There's the third and final piece. Again, you want to line the scar up with the corner of the mouth right up towards the ear. They'll fit differently on different people. And this is sculpted on one individual's face, and no faces are alike. Again, be attentive around the corners of the mouth. They will get damp, so make sure they're stuck down very, very well. Try to leave a little space. I've intentionally kept these appliances subtle. It's very easy, very tempting to go over the top with sculptures and to make them very strong in terms of their three-dimensional qualities, when in fact, if you were to look at a life cast of a scar, something like that, you'd find that it's actually very low relief. Gelatin blender here, just to whisk away some of the small edges, the bumps and things that are shown up. The nice thing about gelatin is you can actually properly dissolve the edges. You cannot do this with latex. I'm going to stay away from the center of the scar area. I just want to get the flesh tone in first, using a sponge. I'm going to use a fairly rose color here, just for the basics of the scar. Bring in some very, very, very fine lines in this sculpture, in these areas particularly, that are designed to give a sense of tension and some of the small striations that you get on real scarring. And I've addressed those, and they're there for you to have a play with. Don't want to go mad with highlighting. Scars don't tend to highlight quite that much. Okay, let's get some shadow color in there. Again, I'm going to use just a little bit here and there. Just add a little bit of depth. And there we have our finished Slash Smile Healed prosthetic effect. Keep it fairly subtle. Keep the coloring not too contrasty. Some of those nice lighter tones in there, and you have a pretty vicious effect. It's tough being in a gang, isn't it? Okay, let's joker him up and give him something to really smile about. So first, let's get some white grease paint on to mark out the basic white areas. In the creases where the eyelids fold, quite often it becomes warm, body oils build up, and it wears makeup like this off the face. This is part of the look that they went for. with Heath Ledger. If you open your eyes now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a shadowing effect or a highlighting effect. Can you crinkle up your nose, please? You really scrunch up your nose. You can see you get ridges. And relax. Turn that way. That's the effect that we're going for. And I'm not going to try to reproduce Heath Ledger's face. It's not necessary. You're going for the feel with this sort of thing. I'm using pretty much black grease paint here. I want it to look nasty and cheap, and I want it to be very thin, watery looking. Remember how I said I wanted to get a nice cracked feel to this, almost age feel? Well, this is it. And what is this? A bit of water-based poster paint. You may need to dry this with a hairdryer to speed things up a little bit. Again, it's not a problem. Just don't set it too hot. Now, purse your lips like you're blowing out a candle on a birthday cake. That's it. And relax. There we go. Now we're starting to get those kind of smoker's fine lines going on in here. It's starting to crack across there. And the more we leave it, the more those will come about. But I think it's time for lipstick. Almost fire engine red. He wasn't a subtle man. There's no reason why we should be. He was quite mad in the film. I think the impression was that he had smeared that in a couple of times. I think we can afford to get a little bit more bold with the scar color. Let's punch up a few more details, get some hair gel in, and see how far we can go with that. I'm just now retouching some of those lines of skin color to simulate where the clown white makeup was to have cracked away. Turn that way. I can see, if you smile now, and then relax, it looks as if those areas have just been worn out. Now we're going to get some hair gel into the hair. We've got some nice color spray here, which is a water-based hair color that you can get in a lot of costume shops, makeup places, things like that. Hit that with a hair dryer, get the gel set a little bit, and we're there. We've glued on the gelatin appliances. We colored them up as normal, as a normal scar. I've then gone in and made up over. With the white paint, I've simulated the makeup where it would have stayed in place and where it would have cracked away in the forehead lines, the smile lines, things like that. I did that with grease paint. I then went in with black, did the eyes in black, again gave it some of that running mascara look, not too much, just a little bit. Get that basic shape of the eye socket in there. I then also put in the lipstick, again to make it look as if a madman has done it, put it on either in a mocking way or a parody of whatever that would parody for him. And then also our little secret formula, just went in with some poster paint, just an off-white to give it that cracked and antique-y feel, that dried out, cheap makeup look. He doesn't really care. He's a madman. He's a bit of a joker.